Hi, we the Barnetts with Let's Talk Credit.
And we help people just like you earn $30,000 in 30 days.
What's up, hustlers? Your favorite country cousin JT back in with another video. I'm here with two very special guests, and they're going to educate us on credit. We all know that other people's money is the way of the wealthy. I'm going to let them introduce themselves, and we're going to get right into it because I know a lot of you all out there, maybe you want to start a business, but you're worried about funding. Maybe you already have a business, but if you have funding, you go to the next level. All of that great stuff and more you're going to learn in today's masterclass. I tell you guys all the time, these are not YouTube videos, these are masterclass. So without further ado.
In Monopoly, they have no consumer debt. Why do you have it? For $37 one-time investment, less than a pair of shoes, in 12 weeks, we can begin to eradicate your debt. Give us 12 weeks and we're going to reduce at least $500 a month of your debt. If Monopoly doesn't have consumer debt, why do you have it? $37, we can get you free. Begin today. God bless you.
Thank y'all for coming on the channel.
Thank you for having us.
Thank you for having us.
All right, do you mind introducing yourself to the people?
Ladies first.
I'm Keisha.
I'm Tyrone. We the Barnetts with Let's Talk Credit with us.
All right, so, okay, tell us about y'all credit journey. Like, what got y'all into credit? Was y'all always into credit?
Well, mainly just trying to get more.
Okay.
Trying to get more. Trying to get more.
Yeah, it kind of started whenever we were getting ready to buy a house.
Okay.
And, like, not really knowing.
What year was this? This was recently?
This was back in
This was
4 years ago.
Okay.
5 years ago. So 2019, right before the pandemic started.
Okay.
So just kind of knowing we had a credit score, but not really knowing what to do, what we needed to have in order to buy that house.
Okay.
And so from there, we kind of went to YouTube University and started researching some things. You know, went to a couple lenders. They were telling us, make your credit score, a little bit higher. But
Okay.
we didn't know kind of what to do to get it there, besides credit repair, but that's not always the answer. It's like, what kind of things can we do to make our credit score jump? So that kind of got us on that path.
So yeah, just watching a couple videos on YouTube, like she said, and then just taking a couple steps here, taking a couple steps there.
All right, I know a lot of people that are watching this, they want to buy a house one day, but maybe they don't, have a house in mind at this moment. You guys said you already went through the process. Why is credit important for anybody out there that wants to buy a house either anytime soon or in the near future?
Well, for one, you want to get that cheaper rate.
Okay.
And you get that cheaper rate, and
Yeah, the interest rate is huge because, that's the biggest thing. That's going to drive your house payment, your mortgage. So with the lower interest rate, that's going to make your mortgage lower. So that's the biggest thing. And just having that, it's going to open your options as to what kind of houses you can get, how much you can afford. Of course, your job is important too, or whatever your source of income is, but the ultimate thing is going to be that interest rate when you're thinking about buying a house.
Okay. All right. So if I want to better my credit, or if the viewer here wants to better their credit, like what's step one? Because people here get your credit together, get business credit, everybody talking all of that. Great stuff, but a lot of us just don't know where to start. So where do you start when it comes to credit?
when it comes to credit, the step one gonna be your payment history.
Okay.
That's the main thing, cause your payment history, it will ding you. Like if you're not making no payments on time with what you already have, that's just gonna keep you in the hole.
Okay.
Yeah, and I would say just even knowing where your credit score is. I talk to a lot of people who don't even check their credit. And it's like, where's your credit score? They're like, I don't know. I'm like, you haven't checked your credit? So they don't even know what number, or where they're at. And just making sure you have a strong credit profile. And so
What does that mean for somebody that's new to credit, a strong credit profile?
Yeah, a profile is going to be like when he mentioned your payment history. So it's broken down into 5 categories. You got your payment history, the utilization, meaning how much, of your percentage of your credit are you using, the history, how long have you had your credit, meaning like your age, how many inquiries you have, and utilization, yeah. So just making sure you have all those areas intact, and they each have a different weight on your perfect credit score, but just making sure you have something going good in each category.
Okay.
If everybody out there, make sure you keep that utilization under 10%.
Yeah.
Because that's the game changer. Just keeping it under 10%. That's what they're looking at.
Yeah.
All right.
A lot of times you hit 30%, but in actuality, under 10 is going to be to give you the most points on your credit report.
Okay. There's some things that we hear a lot about credit. We just want to utilize you guys' expertise to find out is it true or not. If I'm behind in student loans, like, can I still get a mortgage? Can I still get funding for my business? Or do I have to pay them off before I can move forward?
No. So you can, but here's the thing. It depends on how old that student loan is.
Okay.
So if it's a student loan from 10 years ago and maybe you have late payments on there, you might be okay to get a mortgage, or is your student loan in deferment? That's going to be kind of the biggest thing. Are you actively in a student loan and you're just not paying it? Then of course that's going to hurt your credit score, so you may not be able to until you can work out something with that student loan company.
Okay.
So it's important if you do have a student loan, either get it in deferment or get your payments caught up, or work out something with those lenders so that you're in good standing before you go for it, trying to get up a mortgage.
Okay. You got anything you want to add to that?
She pretty much covered.
Okay. All right. I know a lot of people out here. So we started out talking about the basics. And of course, to reiterate, they were saying make sure you have a strong credit profile. You're making your payments. They went over the 5 aspects that are going to contribute to your score. But I know a lot of you all are going to watch this sort of content, or because this channel is talking about business and growing your business. I know a lot of you all out there, you're watching this channel because you're interested in either starting your business or growing your business. So let's talk a little bit about business credit. Can you tell us about getting business credit for anybody out there that's interested in it?
Yeah, so the first thing you want to do, just make sure everything's structured right.
Okay.
You know, meaning that you want to make sure your business address right. You want to make sure your business email right, because I mean, if you don't got all that structure right, then they're not going to take you serious.
Okay.
Exactly. Going along with it, like your name of your business, make sure that's, you have it properly filed with LLC, S corp, whatever that. That's up to the tax people on that. But however you have yours filed, but like you said, it's making sure it's structured properly. And then from there, I mean, even with getting the funding, you can go through and get business credit built through, different trade lines, adding on different like consumer accounts. But the main thing with when you're getting business credit, it's going to be like a personal guarantee. It's called a PG.
Okay.
And that's going to be based on your personal credit. So
it's not true when people out here, because I know nothing about business credit,
Yeah.
so I'm learning. So when people saying I could go out here and get business credit and I got a 100 credit score, that's not true.
it's true. So like you,
Okay.
like you do a paydex score. So you're talking about the 100s. Like you want to have at least.
No, I'm talking about if my personal credit is terrible.
Oh, if your personal credit is terrible,
You gotta fix that first. and then go-
Actually, that 100 is good in a business credit score.
Oh.
Yeah, business credit.
Business credit
Oh,
score
yeah.
at 100. That's actually good, JT.
Yeah.
Oh yeah, I'm talking about a personal credit score though.
Oh, your personal.
You probably ain't getting nothing. You might be able to snag a gas card if your business is structured properly and you have that 100 credit score on the business. But 9 times out of 10, they're gonna want you to personally guarantee that, and you're gonna have to have it. Your
And
business.
I know you said PG earlier, and for the people who don't know what the PG mean, that's what PG mean, personal guarantee.
Yeah.
Okay. All right, so that means that I'm getting this money to do business with, but I personally, JT, guarantee I'm gonna pay it back.
Pretty much.
Okay, if the business can't pay.
If the business
Yeah.
can't pay it back. But the cool thing about it though, when you get business credit, it's not going to show up on your personal credit report. So when you're getting that $50,000 business credit card, that's great. It's only going to be on the business side. So when you get ready to do something personally, it's not going to show up unless you mess it up. Now, if you mess it up and don't pay it, they're going to start reporting it.
So that business credit kind of basically like, it's not under the table, but it's kind of under the table. You know what I mean? Because it's going to report totally different, like she said.
All right. So if I'm understanding it right, just want to make sure that I got South Carolina education and I cheated a lot through school. So I need to get my personal credit straight first, and then I go apply for business credit, right? Is that the right order to?
Absolutely.
Okay.
That's the right order because even though you're getting into business, they still going to look at your personal.
Okay.
Yeah, so your personal take you a long way. That is your report card, your personal credit. So
What's a good personal credit score that I and the viewers should shoot for before we say, okay, now let's go and try to get business funding?
So anywhere from a 680 to a 750.
Okay.
I know a lot of people might want that 800, but in actual reality, a 750 is just as good as 800.
Okay. In your experience, how long, if somebody is serious about improving their credit, does it take a long time to improve your credit? Does it take like years and years to do it? Or?
I mean, like we always tell people, you ain't mess your credit wasn't built overnight. I mean, you ain't mess it up overnight. So it take time to get that credit built. I would say anywhere from 4 to 6 months.
Yeah.
Okay, that's not bad.
And depending on what you have on your credit too.
Yeah,
so
absolutely.
that's kind of the biggest thing. Like what kind of, do you have collections? Is it medical? What are the factors that are hurting your credit can depend on how long it can take. But we'll tell people at the minimum, like you said, 4 to 6 months is going to take. Like it's not going to happen overnight. Like you may want it to, but it's just not.
All right. If I want to be somebody that improves my personal credit so that way I can go get business funding to start or grow my business, on my personal credit report, does it need to show that like I had a $10,000 or a $20,000 loan before and paid it off before I go get business funding? Or like, what do I need to already have, if that makes sense? Or can I have never had, you know, anything more than $1,000 credit card and still go and get big money from on the business side? I finally figured it out. What did I figure out? I'm so glad that you asked. The problem that we both have is that while I love social media, as do you, or you at least like it, or you wouldn't be seeing this video, we do not get to control the algorithm. Why does that matter? Why is that a problem? If I create a video that can teach you how to make more money step by step, or create generational wealth, or invest, or just in any way better your financial journey, but multi-billion-dollar advertisers don't want to run ads against that sort of content because it doesn't fatten their pockets, do you know what social media algorithms are going to do? Not send out notifications. Think about it. How many people do you follow across social media? They drop new videos, but you say, I never saw a notification. I didn't know that video came out, and you could be missing out on game. It could be one piece of information that could change your life for the rest of your life. But just because a multi-billion-dollar advertiser doesn't want to advertise against that content, it will reduce the notifications that go out. Now, I'm not here to complain. I believe that if you identify a problem, you should also offer a solution. Here's my solution. Join my newsletter. It's absolutely free. It's the Providence Professional. I call it the Providence Pro newsletter. And what I'm going to do for absolutely free is I'm going to email you the opportunities. And then you decide if that opportunity is something that you want to check out and change your life for the rest of your life, or you decide if that's something that's not interesting to you. I think that while we all need these big companies, they serve a purpose in the marketplace. I create content to help people that's on their way to financial freedom, not multi-billion-dollar companies that are trying to become multi-trillion-dollar companies. I love them. I'm unapologetically an entrepreneur, but I'm here for you. Join the free Providence Pro newsletter, link underneath this video, and you start making the choices for yourself. Stop letting big advertisers determine what information you are allowed or not allowed to see. Let's get back to today's action. Join the newsletter. Peace.
Well, I mean, it all depends. That all depends on like your inquiries, how many inquiries you got.
What's an inquiry for somebody that knows nothing about this? Like,
so inquiries like every time you go to the bank and ask for a loan or a credit card, or every time you apply for a loan or credit card, that's an inquiry. You got a hard inquiry and you got a soft inquiry.
What's the difference? We gonna include the ladies too. So what's a hard versus a soft inquiry?
So when you think about the inquiries, a hard inquiry is when it affects your credit. So let's say if I go, to a bank tomorrow and I want to apply for a loan, and I'm saying I want $5,000. If I let them just run my credit straight up, that's a hard inquiry, which is gonna ding on my credit 3 or 4 points, showing that they checked my credit. Okay. A soft inquiry is going to be sort of like a pre-approval or pre-qualification. Usually those are done online, where if I might go to a bank's website and they say pre-qualify today, I'll put my information in and maybe not my full social, but the last 4. And they're just going to do like a consumer report where they just kind of look at your credit score without actually pulling everything on your credit. And that'll kind of give you a gauge as to would I qualify or maybe I won't qualify. But even with that, it's not affecting my credit score. Nobody sees that.
Okay. So when will we do like a hard inquiry versus a soft inquiry, or is that something that we don't even get to choose?
Nah, it's something you don't get to choose.
Okay.
Like once you, like she was saying, that pre-approval, once you accept that pre-approval and you accept that, that's a hard inquiry.
Yeah. But we do, advise people to try, if you're looking for a credit card or a loan, or like if you're getting a car, try to get pre-approvals and those soft inquiries first before going straight into getting hard inquiries. That way it's not hurting your credit. And that way you know if you even have a shot at it or not. Because if you don't get pre-approved, then chances are don't go and try to just apply anyway, because you're not going to get approved.
Okay. All right. I know we're going to take it back a little bit just to make sure we tie everything together. So you said y'all got into it around 2019 when y'all went to go buy y'all first home, I'm assuming.
Right.
Did y'all have like good credit, average credit? Like what was it then?
Nah, it wasn't good. It was good. I said probably about average.
Okay.
You was average. I was
about average. So, like she say, just watching YouTube University, just trying to do this and trying to do that. But Yeah, it was about average though, JT.
Alright. So, and that's a good point that y'all pointed out. So if you had average credit and she didn't have average credit, like could y'all still get along together? So if one person has great credit, the other person doesn't have great credit?
I mean, you can, like, it mostly everything would have to be in my name, and she had to be like a co-sign on there.
Mm-hmm.
But we did get her credit up before we actually did move.
Yeah,
the
we
house.
worked on mine, and like I said, then we just kind of like, you know, just you can use one person's credit and let the other
Okay.
person like just use his, since his was better, and I worked on mine in the process, and that way we didn't have to worry about my credit affecting the interest rate on the house at the
Okay.
time.
Alright. I'm gonna swing for the fences here because I know a lot of people on YouTube, this is the kind of content they want to know. And I just want you all to give us the honest answer because we pride ourselves in practicality, real entrepreneurship here on this channel. If I say, hey, I want to start a business, I want $100,000 worth of business credit. I've never had a business. Like, where should I start? And let's say I got a 400 personal credit score. Like,
First, you want to get your credit score.
okay,
That's the first thing first. You got
so how do I do that? Like,
first you have to. I mean,
do I go get a credit card? Do I go get a personal loan?
First you look at your credit report, see what all you got on your credit report. And
Okay.
You want to see whatever you need to get removed, or see whatever you can kind of pay off if you in that situation to pay something off.
Okay.
You know, and then get started from there.
Yeah.
Okay,
like,
so
make
just
sure-
pay. Go ahead.
Oh, no, sorry. Well, I was gonna let's like those who are professional. If you don't know what you're doing, you know, if you don't want to go to YouTube University, find somebody that you trust, or you know, whatever you want to do, and let them analyze your credit report and see what needs to be done. Do you have anything to work on? Because I have people that come to us now and say my credit's bad, but in actuality, they just don't have credit at all. It
Okay.
needs to be built. So, or
What's the difference between that bad credit and no credit?
They're kind of the same
Okay.
in a sense, but bad credit is when maybe you got this credit card 5 or 6 years ago and you just never paid it, so now your credit's ruined. You know,
Okay.
maybe you have 10 medical bills on there. No credit is when you're just out here living by cash, pretty much. Using your debit card, not doing anything on credit, and you just can't build anything if you don't use it. So that's kind of that.
And that's something I always preach, JT, especially to my family. Like, why y'all using this debit card? You're not getting nothing but a receipt. You know, you're not getting. I don't want to go too far, but you're not getting no points back,
Yeah.
no cash reward back, none of that. I haven't used a debit card myself in 5 years.
Okay.
Because it's building the credit, because you're
Building
not
the
building your credit with that debit card. So we try to teach that to people, like, you know, use your credit card instead. If you don't have a credit card, get a secure credit card and let that work for you in order to build your credit.
What's a secure credit card?
That would be a credit card. If you go to the bank and you take them $300 just at the minimum, so
Okay.
like $250, and then you let them tell them, I want to put this on a secured credit card, so I'm using my personal funds to back my credit, so to speak. And so I'm going to use it just like I would a regular credit card, and I'm going to, you know, go buy, you know, pay a bill or whatever, and pay it right back off, and that's going to report to the credit bureaus showing that payment history, showing that I've got low utilization, just anything to build up the points on your credit card, or your
Okay.
credit report. Sorry.
All right. So if I have low credit, or if you have low credit, and I mean, since to quantify it, you said that we need like at least a 680 before we start looking at business. So if your credit score is below 680, the first thing we need to do is look at our credit profile and consult with a professional, right? So can you tell them a little bit about the services that you guys offer? Like, can you help people get business funding?
Yes, we can. So basically what we do is we help on the personal and the business side. So we can help, so like we set up a free consultation. And during that consultation, we'll talk over your personal credit history and just look at everything that you've got going on, whether you've got credit or if you don't have credit. And then from there, we develop a plan on do we need to dispute some items, or do we just need to add some like credit builder accounts to help you build your credit? And then from there, we make sure your business is structured properly. So we also help people do that, like whether it's for helping them form their LLCs, get their, you know, business bank accounts, whatever they might need. And so once they're, like he said, once the credit report is at that 680 or higher, then we can think about applying for funding on the business side. But I prefer like more than 680. The higher we can get it, the better chances you are. And I think you asked us before too, like you want to have those higher credit limits on your personal side.
Okay.
So that the bank knows that you know how to utilize credit. Because if I have a 700 credit score with just a $2,000 credit card and that's all I've had, they're not going to trust me with a $10,000 credit card at that point on the business, because I've never handled that much money and showed them that. So
Okay.
And on that personal side, like, I know you said a $2,000 credit score, and if you're using a $2,000 credit card, if you're using that $2,000 credit card the right way, ask for an increase every 91 days.
yeah,
Okay.
And that will help you also.
yeah, exactly. It's going to keep keep the bank knowing that I can handle this credit responsibly. So
Okay, does that do another inquiry? Because you told us earlier, like, we don't want a lot of hard inquiries. So when we ask for that increase, is that another inquiry or?
Some banks, well, most of the time it is an inquiry.
Okay,
but not,
but
not
if
all
we've been
banks,
paying
not,
our
all-
banks.
not all banks. It depends on the bank, and you can find out from the bank before you do it. So yeah.
And just to quantify too, so how many inquiries is too many inquiries? Because I don't know. That's why I asked the question.
4.
Okay, 4 in
Four.
a year, in a month, in a lifetime.
Not
Not a lifetime. I mean, they fall off
every 2 years.
every 2 years.
Okay,
So
so no more than 4 in the last 2 years.
Yeah.
yeah.
But
Okay.
there are the things that you can do to help remove inquiries. So that goes on with tricks and trades, for credit business. So
Okay.
so yeah, like you don't want to have 10 inquiries in the last month. Like that's showing that you're thirsty for something. So they're not gonna want to give it to you.
And that's where a lot of people do get them denials from, though, the inquiries.
Yeah.
Okay.
The inquiry, they done went to this bank, they done went to that bank, they done went to this bank again, and the
They're piled
inquiries just chopping them up, so they ain't gonna get it.
And one thing that we do is we show you how to apply so that you don't have so many inquiries, like using those pre-approvals or the soft inquiries so that it's not showing up. Showing you how, because there's 3 credit bureaus,
Yeah.
showing you if you're trying to get funded, let's apply for a bank that pulls from a TransUnion. Let's apply for a bank that pulls from Equifax, and then let's apply for a bank that pulls from Experian. That way, you don't pile up all those inquiries in one credit bureau. Because like when you go to, let's say, Bank A and they pull from TransUnion, and if I go to Bank B, if they pull from TransUnion, they're going to be able to see that I just went to Bank A. Versus if I went to this other bank that pulled from Equifax, they're not going to see I just went and applied for something for a TransUnion bank. So you got to know how to apply like horizontally across the board. So that's
Okay.
something like we teach and show people how to do.
All right, and we're going to do more videos with them as well. So make sure you subscribe to the channel. Make sure you have post notifications on. I'm going to tell you how to connect with them, or I'm going to allow them to tell you the best way to connect with them. But I got one more question before we wrap up this particular video. So how important is my personal income when it comes to getting credit? Because, of course, everybody wants to get a huge amount of money when it comes to business credit or even personal credit. But do I need to be making $100,000 a year if I want to expect to get a $50,000, $100,000 loan, or does your income not really matter right now?
Your income.
It matters.
but-
okay.
It matters, but I'm gonna say this: like you got to think about if you have this business or if you're running a side business. The biggest thing when it comes to your income is you need to be able to pay that credit card back if you
Okay.
max it out. So if I get a $50,000 credit card, I'm not saying I'm going to use all $50,000, but just know if I do, you got to have a means of paying that back. So
Yeah.
that's the biggest thing. You just got to make sure whatever you borrow, you have some kind of means of paying that back to the bank.
Okay. All right. So for somebody out there that wants to connect with you on social media or just get into your ecosystem to better their personal or business credit and just overall better their financial situation, what's the best way to connect with you?
On Instagram, I'm at D Tyrone Barnett.
And I'm at Keisha Barnett on Instagram. And then,
We have a group also on Facebook, Let's Talk Credit.
and then we also have a free webinar that we host weekly, and it's at www.talkcreditwithus.com. And that's where we give away a lot of, sauce on how you can raise your credit, score, things that you can do to improve your credit, or just, it's all things.
Just had somebody come to the webinar get 63 points back on their credit.
Just from
Just
listening.
by running the play, just by listening and writing it down.
Okay. All right. Hey, all of those links are down in the description below for your convenience. Till next time, so I'm Hustler, stay hustling. JT Automations. I'm gone.